Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Queen SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B, episode 5, Sisters with Choices. Bouncing around, Tamika, she called Tasha. They need to kiss and make up. Tasha did end up showing up to the sound check in Orlando, so thank you for that, I guess. Whatever. Tasha invites her to the studio so that they can talk. Coco and Jalen cleaning out the closet. It's a mess. Taj, she tried to give her husband a little strip tease, but he in there with it with their son, so X-nay on the strip tease. Tasha, we wind up at the studio with Tasha. She in there doing her 90s runs. Tamika gets there, barely speaks to Rocky, and I know that's right. I wouldn't give his ass nothing either. Get out. They sit and talk. It's barely a conversation, really. You know, it's kind of, I don't know, a little passive aggression in there a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, Tamika shares the details of she and her mother's talk. And Tasha says she confused. You know, how did we get here? They haven't spoken in 3 months. Again, like I said, they have this passive aggressive exchange back and forth. But we end on a good note. Tasha wants the sisterhood back. It's always been them, you know, the 3 amigos. When their dad left, it was just the 3 of them. So they have a tight bond. She wants to get the sisterhood bond back. I don't know what the talk did, but they end up crying and hugging. Let's move on. 14 days before the show. So Tamika, she shows up to the dance auditions. The rest of the ladies, minus Candy, are also going to be there to judge. You know, they start making cuts. They bring some people back. Did y'all see, what was the girl's name? What was her name? Dominique from Candy's OLG, from the old lady gang. She worked around there. She the bartender. She's also a dancer. And she auditioned and she made the first, I'm assuming she made the first round of cuts. Hopefully she got to perform. You know, Candy's her girl, so I'm assuming Candy looked out. Like, look out for that one. Anyway, Taj, she get out there, you know, with the dancers and show the dancers how to do it. You know, she still got it. Anyway, SWV, they meet for hookahs and drinks. Lily, she tells them she's having a hard time writing her erotica book. You know, it's just not as easy as it seems. Taj tells her, read 50 Shades of Grey, because after I read it, I told Eddie to go get every last piece of trinket and toy so we can try them all out. And they tried them all out. No, that's right. Anyway, so let's get down to business. Taj, she shares that she spoke with Tamika, and we saw some clips of their conversation. They were talking about the song. Tamika feels like, because Tiny and Candy have such a huge following on social media, that they're the ones going to put the butts in the seats. Whereas Taj is saying, well, Weak is the stronger song. It sold more records. It has more streams. The people want to hear Weak. And she's right. She's right. I don't know why they keep throwing out this social media numbers thing. Like, that matters. Like, y'all are not booking and selling out stadiums because just because of Candy and Tiny. It's not happening. It is not happening. Y'all are always coupled with this group, that group, this person, that person. It's always a joint thing. And so we're not always, nobody's solely here for Xscape. Nobody's solely here for Tiny. Girl, we only know what we've seen in the blogs about you. That's why you're relevant, because your husband's saying some shit. You and your husband. Accusations and things. Charges and shit. You know, like, that's why we talking about you, Tiny. And Candy, you over there on Housewife. You over there on that show. Now, you do have the bigger platform. Still doesn't mean that we're coming to see you. Because what you about to do is the rest of the housewives coming out to do a panel discussion or some shit. Like, girl, what? Stop using that as your, you know, like, no. Anyway, so she's talking about some Candy and Tiny take precedence over her too. And she's realized that, no, you shouldn't have realized that. You shouldn't have placed yourself beneath them. Absolutely not. And I'm not doing that. And the fact that you think I should is ridiculous. Anyway, Coco and Lily ain't here for that. Of course, Lily say, "Listen, did you tell her we not kissing her ass? Cause we not." She said they had a well-oiled machine before they even decided to get back together. Absolutely not. Tiny, she at the house. Zanique comes by. You know, everybody's discussing this same thing. You know, who gonna headline, who not gonna headline, who gonna start the show, who gonna end the show, all of that. She shares that Tasha's gonna be missing a few shows. You know, she's been very wishy-washy with the group. Tiny finally has opened her eyes to what Candy has been sharing with her and expressing for the longest as it pertains to Tasha and the fact that she uses them. She uses the clout and then drops them when she don't need them anymore. Lily and her sister, they go and get their puppy washed. She's dog sitting for her daughter for 30 days. I'm like, what your daughter do that she gonna be gone for 30 days? Where she work? Anyway, she shares more about the single mom experience and how it's made her who she is today. She talks to her sister about the wardrobe situation and how Xscape, they like to dress like, you know, scantily clad. They like to dress like Ashanti or Beyonce. You know, the what you call them, the bodysuits. You know, all that with all the applique and rhinestones and all of that fringe, all that. Fishnet tights, you know, they don't really give all that. It's SWV don't. They keep it comfortable. But anyway, she said they're not doing all that. Producers asked Lily, "Would you be caught dead in the costumes that Xscape wears?" And she says, "Yeah, maybe dead. Maybe you'll catch me then." Once again, Lily just wants to do the gig, get her bag, and go home. Coco, Steve, and Candy meet to finalize the set list. He starts giving them the list. Okay, we're going to start with Into You. I'm So Into You by SWV. She says, we're not. He says, okay, we're going to start with Anything. She says, yes. Yes. Then they go in. Let's go into Tonight with Xscape. Then Rain from SWV. Then You're Always on My Mind by SWV. And she says, that's ugly. And they're like, really? You don't think it's going to be? They're trying to convince her that it's a good transition. And she's just like, go ahead. What else? Then Who Can I Run To by Xscape. And then they go on and on and on and so on and so forth. And Coco is like, this real sleepy, real slow. And Candy's like, this is the real her. You know, in her confessional, she says, this is, will the real Coco please stand up? This is really who she is. Very, very petty, very catty. And although she is being petty, Xscape don't have no fast songs. Like, they really don't. All they got is some ballads and some slow shit and some mid-tempo. You know, whereas SWV, they have a few, you know, up-tempo bangers where you're going to get the people dancing up out of their seats, not sitting down about to go to bed, you know. But anyway, they go on, you know, with the rest of the songs, and he said that they're gonna close with Understanding. And not Taj. Coco thinks that they should close with Weak. It's the stronger song. And Candy says, we don't agree with that. Coco says, we do. Weak is the bigger song. Coco is like, y'all are still trying to headline by closing the song. You ain't slick, you know. Candy and Tiny, they go, you know, everybody is getting ready to meet with the designer for the wardrobe and everything so that they can discuss everything. And in Candy and Tiny's car, you know, they have their own opinions about SWV's wardrobe and that they don't really dress like that. You know, they don't really be putting it on like that. They got their own opinions, just like SWV feels a way about how Xscape dresses on stage. But anyway, Taj, Coco, and Jalen, they're also on the way to the wardrobe meeting. Jalen, we find out he's decided that he's going to go back to school in the fall, so it's all been a hoax. Then he probably was never dropping out. Good storyline, I guess. But anyway, Coco tells Taj, you know, that she's not sure about working with Xscape at this time, at this juncture. They on some BS. She shares, you know, what's going on as far as this Understanding in this week and all of that. And over there in Candy and Tiny's car, the feelings are quite mutual. Candy shares her conversation with Tiny. Tiny is just like, okay, so what happens if nobody budgets? What happens then? And Candy like, that's what I want to know. Shit. Tiny say, well, I guess it ain't gonna be no show then. Candy say, well, I guess. Exactly. They finally get there and everybody meets with the designer who mostly designs stripper clothes. I mean, but listen, go ahead, do your thing. The rest of the ladies show up. Lily coming there judging from the gate because we at the strip club. We finna be dressed like, what is this? I thought I was gonna see some nice pieces, some nice jackets, some nice, jumpsuits or whatever. No, not so. They start talking about, what everybody's personal style is and everything. Taj and Lily want to be functional pieces. Thank you. Tasha, she's the last one to give her input, and Tamika chimes in like, nah, Diana Ross gonna want something different. She gonna want her own look separate from ours, because the last time we did this, that's exactly what she did. Tasha says she had to go get her a new stylist. Whatever. The fitting, when we start doing the fitting, it's hilarious. Going around the room, it's hilarious. Tiny in there talking about some, don't say what size I am. And then he gonna say 31. I said, didn't I say don't say what size I am? Then we over there with Lily. Damn, Lily, we know you was caked up like that. She said, I ain't know either. Taj, he pulling the thing, the measuring tape all tight, because he says when he does it, he goes 2 inches smaller. Excuse me, sir. No. If you can't go 2 inches smaller, why you got me stuffed in clothes? Like, I want to be comfortable. Taj talking about some, loosen that shit up. Fuck you mean? I can't breathe. Anyway, they sit down, talk about colors. They choose black and silver, white and silver. Candy changes the topic. Excuse me, y'all. Candy changes the topic to the closing of the show. And Tamika's whole argument, again, like I said, is the followers. Candy and Tiny got millions of followers. They show their numbers up there on the screen. To me, I really don't see why we even talking about that. But okay. Lily, she not having it because she know SWV got the streams. They have the record sales, they have the streams. And she says, I'm not about to be downgraded over, some damn followers and pianos and dressing rooms. And everybody like, pianos and dressing rooms. She talking about what Tamika was telling her. Tamika was saying to Taj that Tiny, that her group members are kind of diva-ish. They're Hollywood. They got separate rooms because SWV share a dressing room. They're like, we're a group. And I understand that. Like, you're not a solo artist. You can share a dressing room with the rest of your group members. Come on. And then Tiny got to have a piano in hers. Lily says, listen, we could do all that too, but that's just not who we are. We ain't Hollywood like that. We not rolling like that. She said they ain't hung up on that Hollywood shit. And that's respectable. Tiny says, that I don't know, it's probably because I've been talking. I've done 3 videos, and I guess my throat is saying, girl. Anyway, Tiny in her confessional, she talking about, well, we not Michael on Janet's level, but I mean, our production is a production. We put a lot of money into our stuff. We got lights, we got this, we got that. We just don't go on the stage and sing. We just don't go on the stage and we don't do the flats on stage, or we ain't wearing the overalls. And of course, the whole time they're showing clips of SWV. Doing all of those things. Basically trying to shit on them like, the two don't compare. Anyway, Coco done got pissed off. She suggests, okay, well, listen, we gonna do our set. Y'all gonna do y'all set. Cool. And now Tamika wants to make it seem like that's childish. Oh, now you're being childish. Well, do you have a solution? Because what's the solution then? I feel like that's a good solution. Y'all don't want to work together and intermingle the whole thing. Then we'll do ours. We'll start and stop with whatever we want. And then y'all can do y'all's. Now the thing will be who's going to go on first and who's going to go on last. Now we back at another damn dilemma. Because y'all want to talk to me about followers and who got more followers and who's going to put the butts in the seats. All this bullshit. Like, you're getting nowhere. Anyway. Tamika, she drops by the studio. Tiny, Candy, Tasha, all of them. Xscape got to have a meeting. Apparently, one of the promoters that they worked with has dropped a bomb with receipts. And y'all, what is this? What was this? What was this? This confessional look Candy was giving. This was the thing on the top. Who's that? What was that? Anyway, the promoter done sent text messages. I mean receipts, okay? They would do shows with this particular promoter, and the promoter would get kickbacks. Promoter was getting kickbacks. I mean, not promoter. Rocky was getting kickbacks from the promoter. They had a little deal. It was his guy. They start rattling off the text messages, reading them off, to Tasha, because Tasha, she just can't believe it. She's sitting up there so confused, like she don't know what's going on. But in the text messages, Rocky was explaining that he was sharing these things with his wife, and that his wife was she was well aware that Rocky was getting kickbacks. He said she'll be the one to talk them into doing the shows, all of that. Pull the wool over their eyes, basically. And she's just shaking her head, talking about this doesn't make sense. Tiny is like, listen, the issue is why money going to other places and all that, and we don't even know about it. That's what the issue is. Tasha keep talking about the text receipts. She keep holding them up like they fabricated. Y'all believe this is what y'all believe to be the text? Yes, girl. Same number. That's Rocky and the promoter. Yes, it's absolutely your husband. She tried to make it seem like she blameless. No, you knew about it. Get out. Tasha gotta go. She's no longer in this group. You're out of it. She get on the phone and call Rocky. She don't call him. Call him and say what, girl? Call him and say what? Anyway, of course, it's to be continued. So we will be back. And I think the last one, of course, is the season finale. And all this time, I thought the show didn't happen. It happened. They had this show. And we're going to see what happens with the show next week. I'll be right there. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.